So assume the outcome of either heads or tails is equally likely. Let's see, we toss a coin exactly 8 times. Given that at least 6 of the tosses resulted in tails, what is the probability that exactly 7 tosses were tails? Okay, so let A be the event that exactly 7 tosses were tails. And let B be the event that at least 6 of the tosses resulted in tails. So what I'm looking for is a probability that exactly 7 tosses were tails, given that at least 6 of them were tails. So basically looking at probability A given B, which is by conditional probability A intersect B over probability of B. So probability A intersect B, so that is A is exactly 7, and then B is at least 6. So let's take a look at this. For event A, it's exactly 7. For B, it's at least 6. So B could be 6, 7, or 8. So what do they both have in common? Like you're looking at the intersection, clearly they have to have 7. So this is basically probability of A over probability of B. So we have to look at the probability of getting exactly 7 tosses that were tails. Okay, so this is with respect to tails. So there's 8 coins to choose from. I want 7 of them to be tails. Now there's equally likely, so it's 0.5 to the 7th, 0.5 to the 1st, which is really 8 choose 7 times 0.5 to the 8th. And this is the probability of having exactly 7 tosses. 8 choose 7 is 8. And we have 0.5 to the 8th power. Now for the probability B of getting at least 6 of the tosses, that is the same thing as getting probability 6 tosses, 7, and 8. So we found 7 was this one. So let's figure out 6 and 8. So the probability of getting 6 tails is 8 choose 6. And because they're equally likely probabilities, I could do 0.5 to the 6, 0.5 squared, which is really 0.5 to the 8th. And for this one, let's see, 8 choose 6 is the same thing as 8 choose 2. So that is 28. That is 0.5 to the 8th. And the probability we get 8 tails, there's really one way to choose 8 tails, right? They're all going to be 8 tails. So 0.5 to the 8th, and yeah, 0.5 to the 8th, because 8 choose 8 is 1. So the probability of B is probability of getting 6 tails, which we said is 28, times 0.5 to the 8th. 7 tails, which we found previously was 8 times 0.5 to the 8th. And the probability of getting 8 tails is 0.5 to the 8th. Add these up. 28 plus 8 is 36, plus 1 is 37. Okay. So now we go back. So we're looking for probability of A divided by probability of B. Probability of A is over here. It's 8 times 0.5 to the 8th. Probability of B, we just said, was 37 times 0.5 to the 8th. And notice, it's good that I didn't expand the 0.5 to the 8th, because they're just going to cancel. And I'm left with 8 over 37 as our final answer.